What's up team, this is Frank and this is a quick and dirty guide for Teamfight Tactics. So this is a free game you can play in the Riot client and it has a mobile option as well. The game is constantly updating during the beta. In fact, in the course of reviewing this game, there was this big update and I had to throw away all my previous game footage to capture some new stuff since so much had changed. You'll need to be adaptive and ready to read a lot online. But don't worry, maybe you just want to play casually. Okay, either way the game begins with you in front of a carousel of champions and you will likely have no idea who to pick. In my first few forays I just grabbed who looked cool and sat down looking like a derp. After you select a hero you can place it on your board to fight 3 phases of neutral enemies. This is your chance to get items and money before you face any real foes. After the first 3 phases you can start buying champions, which you can see here. The basic idea of the game goes like this. You're trying to make a team comp to fight the enemy's team. You buy your champions from randomly generated sets of 5 and place them onto this hexagonal grid. You can reroll this set for 2 gold and your total gold is located here. At the start, everything can look very overwhelming since you have no idea what champions are good, what these classes are, and what items to build. The game does an excellent job of providing tooltips for most of the content in-game. It even has tooltips inside of tooltips. Now each of these classes and origins have synergies that you should really read and understand. Having a specified number of these classes on unique units grants your team buffs. On the left it shows you all the synergies you've got working and all the stranded classes that need buddies for synergy. Find a synergy you like and try to build your composition around that. A simple idea, but definitely not the only one, is to get a good frontline tank and to complement this with a strong damage dealing squad in the back. The different teams you can make are pretty interesting, like getting enough cloud units will grant your entire team dodge, or getting 3 woodland champions will allow one of your woodland units to duplicate itself at the start of battle, which is neat if you want to overwhelm your enemy with numbers. All champions have a cost which is linked with its rarity and general effectiveness in battle. Sure, you can pack your team with a bunch of 1-cost units, but getting a key and often rare high-cost champion can really change the battle. When you purchase a champion that can't be deployed yet, it will wait here in this tray of 9 squares. When you buy 3 of a given champion, they will automatically merge into a silver 2-star version, which is more powerful than the basic unit. And if you get 3 of the same silver champions, they will merge into the superlative 3 gold star version. Because tray space is limited, it can get tight when you're trying to upgrade too many champions at once, but this is okay. You can sell champions at cost unless you've upgraded them, in which case you'll lose a bit of gold for selling. Outside of building a strong team comp, you can influence the battle in a couple other ways. First, you can save up money. You get 1 golden interest for every 10 gold you have saved, up to a maximum of 50. Thus, if you got a decent team that's winning a lot, start saving and try not to spend more than the nearest multiple of 10 to maximize income. Also, you can pay 4 gold to add 4 XP to your XP bar. Your XP also grows on its own, but this happens very slowly, and without a special item, you can only field as many champions as your level. Thus, there are 3 things you are trying to maximize: team strength and size, your little legend's health, and income. Often you will sacrifice one for the other. For example, let's say you want to find 1 more champion to get that gold 3-star version. You can reroll your shop for 2 gold in hopes of finding one, but this depletes your war chest. Conversely, you can just save up your gold to the max interest rate, but this typically takes a long time to accrue and your army can stay static while other players are spending money to improve theirs. Luckily, you get extra gold for going on a win or loss streak, so that's nice. You can see everyone's health on the right here, and this shows you how well your army is doing relative to other players. Losing all your health will end your run, so sacrificing your life total so that you can save some money can be risky. Each time you win a match, you damage the enemy little legend while you take no damage. So winning early on isn't everything. Sometimes planning for a strong late game can create some hectic, intense comebacks. This game is all about survival. You pray to RNGesus that the rolls are good, level up, and keep fighting. Last one standing wins everything, although getting second place also gives you a victory screen, which flies in the face of Ricky Bobby's logic. Also, although charming, your little legend has no real influence over the game. Yeah, it'll fetch items dropped by neutral mobs and pretend to pick up and place champions on the grid like a good boy, and each little legend has cute emotes you can pull off in game, but that's about it. Lastly, the hexagonal grid allows for some strategic placement of units. It helps to view other players' placements and try to counter what they're doing, but you never know which player you're facing next, and I was often too busy reading item descriptions and frantically searching for needed heroes, so basically I just try to keep my tanks in the front and my damage dealers in relative safety behind. Oh, and the game recently introduced these random buff tiles, which can increase your health, mana, or dodge, for example. These buff tiles make battles more dynamic since they're mirrored for the enemy team, and thus you will need to plan your attack from 2 fronts later on. And that's it. That's everything you need to know to get started in Teamfight Tactics. In the end, the game feels an awful lot like a poker game played between 8 players. You get dealt random cards and try to find synergies that will give you a strong hand. But the style also means that new players will need to memorize a slew of menial facts about characters and items, like check this out. When the game parades the heroes in front of you, you need to just know which classes they belong to. I couldn't get tooltips by right-clicking working on any of these heroes or anything, and it's been years since I played League of Legends, so are the classes and origins based on their lore? Because many of these champions are unfamiliar to me. Also, you get items during periodic neutral waves and by selling champions with items equipped. And by the way, there doesn't seem to be a way to sell equipped items unless you sell the entire unit, so make sure you know what you're doing, okay? Anyways, you can hover items over top of each other and it shows what the item does, and that definitely helps, but I still needed to have a third-party site open on my second monitor at all times to help me know champion classes and to find out which items I needed to combine. Now, the game also does some things to make everything more convenient, like the aforementioned tooltips, the fact that your little legend actually speeds up when you click for them to fetch a dropped item, champions you need for an upgrade will glow and make a noise to avoid you missing them, many actions like buying XP and re-rolling your shop have hotkeys, and there's a lock for your store which allows you to save a shop window so that you won't have to reset it at the beginning of your next turn, which is great if you ran out of money right when you found the champion you wanted. But like I said, this game is tough. Some of these players definitely know what they're doing, and I almost quit after my first few matches. But I'm glad I stuck with it since I got pretty addicted to the strategic gameplay and challenge. If you're looking for a strategic auto chess game which features both ranked and casual play and centers around a large cast of league champions, you might really like Teamfight Tactics. If you're not really into strategy and RNG based games or reading changelogs to keep up with the newest meta, you might just pass this one up. Most of my games lasted between 20 and 30 minutes, which can be a pretty long commitment for some people. But for my part, I'm glad I tried it. I had a good time learning synergies and planning around what cards I was dealt. And remember, this was a quick and dirty guide to Teamfight Tactics.